We've all jumped into something, both feet, swan dive if you will. But before we even manage to hit the surface, we ask ourselves, what the hell are we doing? Why am I doing this? I don't even know what the heck this is. And by the time you're asking the question, it is already too late. The same applies to investing, especially today with social media, getting retail investors absolutely wrecked. It is a game of psychological warfare. It's player versus player, it's player versus institution. It's every man for themselves. You need to know what the hell you're doing. If you don't know what you're investing in, do yourself a favor. Do not invest in it. It is so simple. Don't know where that apple came from? Don't eat it. Leave it alone. Don't know where that drink came from? Don't drink it. Why can't the same apply to investing? I mean, the philosophy makes sense, right? If you don't know what it is, don't do it. It doesn't matter if grandma and grandpa made a fortune. It doesn't matter if your friend was able to retire and oh my God, he's living this great life. It doesn't matter if your dog was able to retire with enough doggy treats to last him for the rest of his doggy life. Well, I mean, at that point, you gotta ask yourself, what the f am I doing? I mean, if my dog can make it, why the hell can't I make it? It may work out, but is it really worth it if it keeps you up at night? I don't think so. Let's answer that question. But before we do, I'm Barixis and welcome to my channel. For those of you that are new, welcome. I post my regular content every Wednesday and I post YouTube shorts every single day. If you want to keep up, please subscribe, hit that little notification bell icon and I promise you will not regret it. The goal of this video is to get through to at least one person. Just one, that's all I need, just one person. If I can get through to one person, then this video will be a colossal success. Let's just get right into it. Investments are easily the top 3 most important decisions you will ever make in your entire life. And you can use your imagination for the other 2. Who knows? The investment decisions that we make today will literally pave the path for the next 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years of your life.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
That's too damn bad!
You work hard for your money. Most of you at least. So why would you want to gamble your hard-earned money away and invest into something that you don't even know what the hell it's all about? Does that make any sense? I think about it for a second. You worked day and night for this money, but you want to just throw it into something random and you don't even know whether or not it's going to be a success or not? If someone is telling you about their latest investment, don't just be like, what's the return on investment? How do I get into it? No, that is surface level questions and those questions will get you absolutely wrecked. You need to be mature enough to ask yourself much deeper questions. Like, how does this investment fit into my everyday life? How does this investment fit into my investment philosophy? How does this investment get me to the goals where I see myself in the next 10, 20, 30 years? If you can't ask those questions and all you care about is number go up, you again are going to get, I know y'all can get it this time, you're gonna get wrecked. Let's use Bitcoin as an example. Somebody tells you, yo, invest your money in Bitcoin. The first thing that 95% of people say is, I'm good. And then the other small minority, the other 5% say, yeah, why not? They throw all their money in there. Both are colossal mistakes. Bitcoin is an insanely volatile asset. I'm talking 10, 20, 30% ups and downs day in, day out, week after week. A lot of people cannot handle that level of volatility. That is absolutely, like, imagine seeing your portfolio. You have $100,000 in Bitcoin, and by the end of the day, it's down $30,000. People can't handle that. If you don't understand what you're investing in, you will get wrecked. You will sell when you should be buying and you will buy when you should be selling. Let's use real estate as another example. A lot of people will be able to understand this real estate example, or maybe not. We've all been programmed to believe that owning a house is the end all be all. If you own a house, congratulations, you are a successful member of society. You should pat yourself on the back. Job well done. Amazing. The old American and Canadian dream. You owned a house, congratulations. Now when you start in the family. Sorry, my deepest apologies for that. That will never happen again. Yeah, I probably will. The truth is, the real estate playbook may have worked 10, 20, 30 years ago for the boomers and the Gen Xers, but for the millennials and the Zoomers, Gen Z, yeah, that playbook, it's not gonna work anymore. Millennials and Zoomers are encouraged by their parents, by their family, by their friends, who are most likely boomers and Gen Xers, to invest in real estate because it just makes sense. It just makes sense. It's what you need to do. It's what we've all done. It's just, come on. It's the playbook. And truthfully, there are more sound investments that a lot of people can make without going completely house poor, throwing all their life savings into a down payment, and just being miserable and just literally working to pay for their house until the day that they die. What the hell kind of life is that? You know what I believe to be the problem is though? We're lazy. We don't want to put in the work. We want a handout. We want other people to do the due diligence for us. Fortunately, that strategy will not work. There is no universal blueprint that will work for everybody. Just because it works for person X doesn't mean it's going to work for person Y. Just because it worked for your parents doesn't mean it's going to work for you. Just because it worked for your friend doesn't mean it's going to work for you. It's not how it works. Everybody is unique, and that's what makes this place called Earth so wonderful. Everybody is different. Everybody has their own unique circumstances that work for them. Therefore, a universal blueprint is not going to cut it. People come from differing socioeconomic backgrounds, varying time preferences, and everybody has different priorities in life. See, what works for me, I know for a fact would not work for 99% of the people that I know in my personal life. It is not even up for debate. It would never work. If I tell them exactly what my investment thesis is, exactly what my long-term, 5, 10, 15, 20-year outlook is, they would look at me like... Yo, this guy has lost his freaking mind. But you know what? That's perfectly okay. Why? Because it works for me. It doesn't have to work for you. It doesn't have to work for John across the street. It doesn't have to work for your neighbors. It doesn't have to work for anybody but yourself. And if somebody doesn't understand that your investment thesis is just for you, then they got bigger problems in life.
I could feel that it was a problem.
And there's a key takeaway here somewhere. I think it's, we need to be investing for ourselves. We need to be finding an investment philosophy and a framework that is curated for you and your family and nobody else. If you're gonna take away anything from this video, you need to be able to understand your investments and where it fits into your life, your lifestyle, and that's all there is to it. Essentially, you want to be able to understand and ask the following questions. Number 1, what am I investing in? Number 2, why am I investing in it? And number 3, how long am I going to be investing into this asset? Once you begin to answer these purposely broad questions in a meaningful way, you'll find greater clarity in your investment thesis, you'll find greater clarity in your investment decisions, and you will develop a solid investment strategy that works for you. It really can't be that simple. Now, I just want to make one thing unequivocally clear. I'm not saying that it's not okay to take investment advice. You should absolutely take investment advice when it's warranted. However, if somebody tells you invest into X, don't just dump all your money into X without trying to understand what the heck it even is.
Why are you the way that you are?
You need to be able to take somebody else's feedback, take somebody else's investment thesis, figure out where will this fit into my life? Where will this fit into my investment philosophy? Does this work for me? If I invest X amount of money, where will I be in the next 20, 30 years? You need to be able to answer these questions. Don't just think number go up and everything is good. And that's really all there is to it. If you're someone that has many failed investments,
You failure.
you're gonna figure out that the common denominator is most likely the fact that you had a very subpar understanding of your investments. Because if you understand something fully, there's no reason why it should fail. You study for a test, for example. If you study everything, you know what you're doing, you go to the test, you will most likely do well. If you are ill-prepared and you go into the test, you are going to most likely fail. The same thing goes for investing. Let's do a quick thought experiment. Scenario 1, you're invested into 10 assets. You understand maybe 2 to 3 at a general level, and you're literally just applying a hope and pray strategy that at least one pops off and you make it. Crazy. Scenario 2, you're invested into 5 assets. You have a general understanding of everything you're investing in, all 5 assets, and you know for a fact that 2 or 3, maybe 4 if you're lucky, will do relatively well. Scenario 3, you're invested into 1 to 2 assets. You've spent hundreds and hundreds of hours on these 2 assets. You understand them inside out. You understand all the inner mechanics. You understand all the fundamentals. You know exactly what you're doing. You know for a fact both of these assets will perform extremely well, and all you're doing is sitting on your hands and waiting for your fruits of your labor to materialize in a meaningful way. You sleep well, everything's good, you're singing Kumbaya every Friday, and life is just a wonderful place to be. Which scenario makes the most sense to you? Like, why juggle with a multitude of assets if you do not have to? Okay, hear me out. Contrarian philosophy here, but in my own opinion, in my own humble opinion, heavy diversification is just an excuse for not being able to do due diligence on the assets that you're investing in. I'm sorry. Investing into like 30, 40 different assets is just asinine. Like, why would you want to do that when you can just invest into a small handful of them, understand them perfectly, understand all the mechanics behind them, just have less assets to juggle around? It seems so counterproductive, heavily diversifying. You remember that Charmin Ultra commercial?
Charmin Ultra, less is more. When we say less is more.
Less to investing. Less is better. Anyways, like I said in the beginning of this video, I hope this got through to at least one person, just one. And if it did, my job here is finished and I feel great about myself. And if it didn't, well, damn, I got some work to do. In any case, I thank you all for yet another opportunity to share my thoughts and my insights. I greatly appreciate it. It never goes unnoticed. And with that, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and I look forward to the next one. BK out.